Look at that Jeep Comanche Pioneer inline 6. Stick shift. Talk about a nice analog vehicle. Crank up windows, bench seat, stick shift. 110,000 miles. A little rusty, not horrible. Got your weekend clothes in the back. So this is a 1988 Jeep Comanche. It's a two-door pickup truck. Jeep made these for a while. They were pretty good trucks. They rust really bad. This one's actually in good shape as far as the rust is concerned, because most of these things have already returned to the earth, much like their full-size Jeep predecessors. These are got the bulletproof 4.0. Great engines. This one was brought into us for customer requested replace oil pump. So we looked at it and I'm like, you know, I've never seen an oil pump actually be bad unless the bearings are gone. And we put a gauge on it and fired it up because it's just a simple electronic pressure sender to the gauge. And with it hooked up, we're reading, and the engine off, we're reading 0. With the engine running, we're reading 0. With it unplugged, we're reading 100%. So the gauge and the cluster and the electronics should work fine. So it's not a sending unit issue. And with the filter that was on it, which is a brand I've never seen, it's a Service Champ. And its Fram counterpart is a PH9688. I don't like Fram oil filters. And I'm about to find out if I like Service Champ oil filters as well. We fired it up, cold. Gauge shows no pressure. Actual gauge shows no pressure. So I decided let's start just with an oil filter, because the oil filled up, or the oil filter filled up after we pulled it off and checked it. There wasn't any metallicness in the oil, so I figured we'll stick a new filter on it and see what happens. So that is what we came up with for this guy, which is both taller and a bigger diameter. Now this has a specific warning for using a M20 1.5 thread. This was around the year they changed over to a metric thread, and that is you can put the standard thread on the older filters and you tighten them down. If you tighten them just a little bit too much, then when you're driving down the road it'll pop the filter off and then you're buying an engine. Nobody wants to do that. But I decided to put a filter on this because I feel like I have pressure. This one actually has a relief valve in the bottom of it. You can see the difference in the height is about a ½ inch. And if you look at this guy, it's got a big old pipe that comes up. And if that's bottoming out on the bottom backside of the filter, I decided I was curious, and for the cost of an oil filter, let's find out. So let me stick this on here real quick. So my new filter's on. My old filter, the oil's really black, but it's not really glittery. It doesn't smell like fuel, so those are good things. Alright, let's pop this guy off. And we'll cut this filter open just to see. Hey, it's got oil pressure. 50 psi. That'll work. So, wrong oil filter was his problem.
The good is it doesn't sound like it was run at 0 oil pressure.
It never did. But it didn't. It was weird because, yeah, now I have oil on my rockers where I didn't have oil on my rockers before. So we'll put the gauge back in it, and we just saved that guy a lot of money. Because instead of us doing what he asked us to do, we wanted to know the answers to the question. and we've seen this before. I've actually personally lost a 4.2 engine to a Bram oil filter because it was one of those ones that collapsed inside and started the oil.
50 psi at cold?
Cold idle. I'll take it. I'm like, I can't believe this engine has an oiling problem.
Yeah.
You can see under the valve cover, and it's not like a block of sludge.
Yeah.
The oil in the filter was runny. It wasn't goo. I'm like, there's a simple solution to this. So we'll take the gauge off.
Yeah, Mr. Customer, I actually have good news for you, sir.
Hey, Mr. Customer, I just saved you a couple $1,000.
Yeah, that's a win.
So, and that filter was put on this truck in 24.
Ooh. How many miles?
So that filter, oh, I don't know how many miles. I'm gonna guess they changed it and then never did anything with it. 9/25/24 was when that filter was put on there. So I'm gonna guess it did. It's only got 110K on it, so that's a win. Not a win for me. I'm not gonna make it my own job. That's all right. Maybe he'll do some other maintenance. It is nice when you can fix something without major complications. But that's also what you get when you bring a car to a shop with experienced technicians. Because Bruce was like, man, this thing, they're saying that they need an oil pump in this. Bruce is like, I've never seen an oil pump be bad without other things being the reason. So he's like, I don't believe it needs an oil pump. I'm like, well, I know, and it's a Jeep 4 liter. Like, those things are a bulletproof engine unless you run them out of coolant or run them out of oil, or don't change either of those two items. But that's phenomenal. We'll get this thing buttoned back up and we'll go for a test drive in it. I'm sitting down in this thing. This is pretty cool, actually. So this thing has, must have a bulb out somewhere because it's lighting up the turn signal, but it's got a factory tach, engine coolant gauge, fuel gauge, oil pressure gauge, and volt gauge, which the voltmeter is not charging. So we'll probably be doing an alternator on this as opposed to doing an oil pump. So at least we'll get to do a little bit of work to this old girl. But a factory tach, I don't know that I'm sure that's just because it's a factory 5-speed. But that's pretty cool. These are smaller than I remember them. Maybe that's because I'm bigger than I used to be. I don't know. My wife had a Cherokee. She had a 2000 Cherokee, and she loved that thing. It was a nice little rig. It got us everywhere. And we traded it off for another vehicle down the line. We should have kept that one for one of the girls, but can't keep them all. This is an AC truck too. This thing's pretty low. AC, crank windows, manual locks, manual transmission, but it has AC. That's perfect. That's my kind of truck. Well, I'm excited. We found a problem that wasn't a problem. Alternator woke up. She's been running for about a half hour. Full operating temperature. Gauge reads incorrectly for the alternator. It actually reads low for the coolant temp. That might just be a sending unit issue or just old cluster. Yeah, other than having a cracked windshield, this truck's in pretty good shape. I think we're going to go ahead and do an oil change on it. We'll change the filter for, even though that we just put that filter on, we'll put another filter on it. And fresh oil. Check the car over, look it over for anything else it might need, but yeah, she's looking good. Alternator's running good. Charging at 14.5. Should make a good little runner. These are kind of a unique unibody truck with a bolt-on bed. The unibody frame continues past the cab. This is a pretty solid little rig. Could use some shocks. It's got new brake cables, new drums, new brake hardware, new wheel cylinders. Could use some exhaust. All the park brake cables have been changed. Not sure what that is. U-joints have been replaced. Two-wheel drive. Front brake hoses have been done. Not bad. Not a bad little rig. That guy's been changed. Heck yeah, man. Nice little truck. Oop, O2's up in the manifold. It's actually got floors in it. That's impressive. All right. New shocks, fresh oil change, coolant flush, new exhaust, made a little tailpipe for it because they're not available. Big surprise. New shocks in the rear. It did not need an alternator. It was charging, just the gauge was reading inaccurately, and we're not worried about that. So this car is actually on its way down to North Carolina to be used down there as a spare vehicle. That's probably the best place for it because assault here in Ohio would destroy this thing. But not a bad little rig for what it is. Move it on to the next stage of its life as a little toter. Well, that's a fabulous little Survivor, 110,000 miles, inline six, manual, shifts clean, stops, goes, idles, has oil pressure, all positive things. This one's done. We're moving on to the next one, which actually is MBRP exhaust on this Ram back here. That's my next target for today. See if we can get that done before the end of the week. You guys have a great day. Stay safe out there. Get your old cars out of the garage. Have some fun with them. I'll see you on the next one.